welcome. You're watching 6 Stories at 6 with me, Tanisha Avasti. Let's quickly get you through the top headlines that we're tracking, which has set the agenda for the day. Air India is in a huge crisis yet again. There have been multiple flight cancellations that have occurred that has ultimately left the passengers stranded. We'll get you the exact details of the number of flights that have been cancelled and why is it so. The second story that we're tracking on 6 Stories at 6 is how the West Asia is at loggerheads, how the conflict is only escalating and there seems to be no respite. Republic, meanwhile, is reporting from the war zone. We'll get you ground reports from Tel Aviv, from the damaged places that Tel Aviv has seen and how is Israel reacting to it and what is the next plan of action. Meanwhile, coming back to India yet again, it is Uttar Pradesh where the second leg of Operation Langra continues. There have been encounters in nearly 10 cities today. We'll get you all details on that as well. And Prime Minister Narendra Modi is in poll-bound Bihar. He has given some scathing statements hitting out at the opposition, saying that Jungle Raj does not have to be brought back if the opposition have been voted to power in future. We'll get you that as well. But first, let's have a quick check of the first story that we're tracking on this broadcast. Ladies and gentlemen, Air India has cancelled several international and domestic flights today. Now, this was due to an increased aircraft check and bad weather and airspace restrictions. The affected flights include services between Dubai, Chennai, Delhi, Melbourne, Pune, Ahmedabad, Hyderabad and Mumbai. Now, as per the statement from Air India's international flights AI905 from Dubai to Chennai, AI308 from Delhi to Melbourne and AI309 from Melbourne to Delhi. Meanwhile, other flights like these, as well as the domestic flights AIB74 from Pune to Delhi, AI456 from Ahmedabad to Delhi and AI2872 from Hyderabad to Mumbai, as well as AI571 from Chennai to Mumbai have been cancelled due to enhanced maintenance and operational reasons. But what Air India really has to understand here is that because of their 11th hour cancellations, it is the passengers who are suffering. Remember, these are 8 flights that we're talking about here that have been cancelled, and this has happened at the 11th hour, keeping the passengers completely stranded and giving them no sign of an alternative. To give more details on this, I'm being joined by Captain Ehsan Khalid. He's an aviation expert. Captain Ehsan, thank you very much for speaking to Republic. It has become a pattern now that Air India has been cancelling flights due to several reasons, sometimes due to a technical snag, sometimes due to enhanced security checks, and as a result of which it is the passengers who are left stranded. What do you think can be done and what do you think that action should be taken by Air India on these flights? Should all of these flights remain grounded, or what else can the watchdog tell Air India to do in this case?
Thank you for getting me to give my opinion onto it. The fact remains that these are very extraordinary circumstances that Air India is facing. A, it has gone through the worst air accident that India has seen in the last few decades. B, DGCA has given out a preventive enhanced maintenance. For that particular kind of maintenance, they don't have the manpower and they don't have the time, even the tools to actually carry out the enhanced maintenance. As a result, there would be delays, there would be non-availability of the aircraft, and which would actually cause cancellations. Generally, when an aircraft goes down, airline actually puts in by giving the extra aircraft as a standby aircraft. Here, forget the standby aircraft, they would not have even the active aircraft for that particular sector, which is getting cancelled. Right now, well, they must have tried to juggle around with various routes by delaying the flight, but now it seems that they are looking to withdraw 20% of the routes because the aircraft will be not available. Also, the availability of the crew, which was there for, let's say, X number of flights, because of the delays, they would probably be overstretching themselves. Remember, Air India does not have the wherewithal to stretch its resources of pilot engineers and the aircraft in the face of enhanced inspection. So this is expected. Now, what they would do with to the passengers to put them on an alternate flight, give them a second day flight, is a very difficult situation to grapple, because, mind you, this is holiday season, and people have booked the flights much long time back, and they would want to go on holidays. All the other competitive or the alternate airlines will also be booked. As a result, transferring them to a different airline also does not seem to be something which is straight away possible. Bad situation for everyone, the airline and the passengers. Can they do something? I'm sure they're doing whatever they could. But it doesn't seem to be something that would go away very soon.
Yes, absolutely, sir. Thank you very much for speaking to us. Meanwhile, Harsha, my colleague, is also joining us live from the national capital. Harsha, you have been tracking the story very, very closely. What are the several reasons that Air India has stated today, since 8 of their flights have been cancelled, that too at the 11th hour, without prior notice to the passengers?
So Tanisha, in some of the flights it was technical snag, and some they have stated that it was because of the closed airspace because of Iran-Israel situation. And in some of the aircraft they went on by saying that we have been asked by regulators to reduce our operation, and that is the reason we are taking precautionary measures, and therefore we have cancelled it. We have informed the passengers in advance. This is what Air India has been stating in their press statements. But for now, the major concern is that there were equipment faults. There was snags reported in many of the flights, and yes, if it was pre-planned, why it is being done in the 11th hour? Why the last minute cancellations are happening before 3 to 4 hours the passenger boarding? Before 3-4 hours the passengers are being messaged. A message is being sent out to them by stating that it has been cancelled as a precautionary measure. They have been asked for rescheduling, for alternative flights. But the major concern is that there is a snag. There is a big issue with Air India, is facing right now. And now that Air India is under immense scrutiny from the side of the regulatory body and the ministry itself, as secretary and the officials have been pulling Air India continuously that they have to monitor each and every small snag. Right now, Air India can't ignore even if the snag is a small or big. If there is an auto brake issue, or there is an engine issue, or there is a flap door issue, Air India has to report each and every small snag, which earlier Air India was not doing. And that is the reason now pilots are also coming out by informing ATC that these aircrafts are unfit to fly, and until and unless the inspections will not be done, the pilots are also not ready to fly. So that's the gravity and intensity of distrust which is now emerging in Air India from the side of passengers and the internal working people as well. Back to you.
Absolutely, Harsha. Thank you very much for getting us those details. Quickly moving forward to the other stories that we are tracking now. Israel Defense Forces have informed that they are now attacking military infrastructure in western and central Iran. Earlier, the Israel military said that Israel has more sites to target in Iran, including Tehran. Israeli Defense Forces are constantly targeting military sites in Tehran. Take a look at this video that has been shared by Israeli Defense Forces, which shows what Israeli pilots see 9,000 meters over Tehran.
Off from certain runways, but from what we saw, they flew away from us and not towards. We have an existential threat on Israel right now, and we have to get rid of the 3 major threats that are threatening the peace and our civilians, the Iranian proxies in the area. What we is create that environment so that whichever surface-to-air threat we would face, we'd be able to make sure that our side wins. What's great about the Israeli Air Force is its flexibility. Targets are going in and out as necessary. If there are targets that we are aware of civilians in the area, we're not going to target. Sometimes when you're flying back from a mission, you see the Iranian ballistic missiles traveling already through the atmosphere from the east to the west. One of the flights that I flew, the missiles landed in a very heavily populated civilian city. And I saw it from the sky, and I understood this is exactly what we're trying to protect. And at the end of the day, the Israeli Air Force knows exactly what we're targeting. And the Iranians, they really don't care if it's hitting populated cities, if it's killing and murdering civilians. It has been difficult, but what we understand is that if we don't do it, no one else will do it.
Meanwhile, Iran has also opened airspace for India to help Indians stuck in Iran to be back in India. Republic spoke to Mohammad Javed Hosseini, Deputy Ambassador of Iran to India. Listen in to what he had to say on the case.
The only injury that it was reported was the first day of the attack, this military attack of the Israelis, which was actually hit at the dormitory of the Indian students there. After that, there was any report, and I can say all of the Indians are safe and sound in Iran. With the help of the Indian embassy, they were relocated in another cities, which was the safest comparison with the others. And then the students were moved out by the road via the third countries, actually Armenia. They came back here. And then for the rest of the Indian nationals who actually were in Iran and who are actually willing to come back, they were actually relocated to the Mashhad, one of the Iranian city near to the border with the Afghanistan. The Iranian officials, they gave this permission to Indian government and Indian embassy in Tehran to organize these groups, which are around 1,000, to send them back by the Iranian airline Mahan Air. And for this one, it needs Iranian cooperation for opening the airspace. We know that airspace, because of this tension, it is closed. But because of this importance that we will give to the civilians, especially Indians who are our brothers and sisters and very beloved for us, we open the airspace for them. They will arrive via 3 flight, actually charter flight, which the first one will arrive tonight, and the rest will be on tomorrow and the day after tomorrow.
And even as the massive escalation continues, Republic TV is the only channel reporting from war zone. Here is a report showing the aftermath from Israel's commercial capital. Take a look.
I'm currently standing in Bnei Brak, which is an ultra-Orthodox town located 3 to 4 kilometers from Tel Aviv. A direct Iranian missile hit this town 3 to 4 days back, and you can see behind me most of the buildings were affected, and there was a school which is located right opposite to me for disabled students where over 300 students study, and the school was also affected. You can see clearly what we have shown in the other videos, that this is also one of the civilian areas which was impacted, and almost all the missiles that were targeted by the Iranian regime has only been targeted on civilian population and civilian areas.
Moving on, Yogi Adityanath Police's Operation Langra continues on a war footing across Uttar Pradesh. Criminals were hunted down by the police during the wee hours. Here's how Operation Langra is in full swing across the Hindi heartland.
Uttar Pradesh has turned into a battlefield between law enforcement and crime. In a sweeping crackdown dubbed Operation Langra, the UP police has launched multiple encounters across the state. From Noida to Bareilly, gangsters, mobile snatchers, cow slaughter accused and murderers were shown zero tolerance. An encounter took place in broad daylight between Greater Noida police and a wanted cow slaughterer. The accused, carrying a reward of Rs 25,000, was shot by the police and arrested. A pistol, cartridges and a car were recovered from him. He had been absconding in a cow slaughter case registered under Knowledge Park Police Station. A deadly exchange of fire in Firozabad Shikohabad area led to the death of Raju Khan, a criminal with a bounty of Rs 50,000. He was involved in a double murder case about 2 months ago. 2 police personnel, including an SOG constable, were injured during the operation.
आज अर्ली मॉर्निंग लगभग 3:30 से 4 के बीच में पुलिस को ये सूचना मिली थी कि थाना शिकोहाबाद में ये फिर से क्रियाशील हो गया है और फिर से कोई नृशंस घटना कारित कर सकता है। इसी सूचना पे पुलिस टीम द्वारा इसको हिरासत में लेने के लिए और पूछताछ करने के लिए टीम गठित की गई। टीम जब इसके पास में पहुंची, इसको आत्मसमर्पण का मौका दिया गया, किंतु अभियुक्त जो कि नृशंस हत्याकांड करने का आदी है, इसके द्वारा पुलिस पर अंधाधुंध फायरिंग खोल दी गई और आत्मरक्षार्थ पुलिस बल द्वारा भी फायर किया गया।
In another operation in Firozabad, police arrested 3 criminals during checking in the Jasrana area. Two of the accused were shot in the legs after they opened fire on the police. The arrested include Tajuddin alias Raju and Chidua. All three have been hospitalized.
थाना जसाना पुलिस को बहुत दिन से सूचना मिल रही थी कि कुछ पशु चोर इलाके में सक्रिय हैं। इस सूचना पे औंछा मार्ग पर थाना जसराना पुलिस के द्वारा वाहन चेकिंग की जा रही थी। एक मैक्स पिकअप आती हुई दिखाई दी। जब थाना पुलिस के द्वारा उसको रुकने का इशारा किया गया तो उसके द्वारा पुलिस टीम पर गाड़ी रोक के फायर किया गया। पुलिस टीम के द्वारा भी आत्मरक्षा जवाबी फायरिंग करी गई, जिसमें से कि गोली 2 बदमाशों के पैर में लगी है।
In Prayagraj, a criminal named Abdullah was shot in the leg during an encounter with police. He was accused of bombing a shop in the Atala area. 2 pistols and several live cartridges were recovered from him. He was taken to the hospital for treatment. Police arrested the accused involved in the murder of the daughter of the DM's driver in Hathras. The suspect was shot in the leg during the encounter and taken into custody. The case had triggered outrage and swift police action. In Simbholi area of Hapur, police nabbed a man accused in a cow slaughter case following an encounter. The accused was injured in retaliatory firing. Illegal arms, cartridges and a bike were recovered from the scene.
पुलिस द्वारा बक्सर रेगुलेटर मार्ग पर चेकिंग की जा रही थी, जहां एक संदिग्ध को रोकने का प्रयास करने पर वह भागने लगा तथा पुलिस पार्टी पर फायर किया। पुलिस पार्टी द्वारा आत्मरक्षा की गई फायरिंग में अभियुक्त जाहिद, जो कि ग्राम हसूपुर थाना गढ़मुक्तेश्वर का रहने वाला है, उसके पैर में गोली लगी है।
A joint team of Chaproli police and SWAT arrested a wanted criminal with a rupees 25,000 reward after an encounter. The accused was linked to a case from Muradnagar, Ghaziabad. He was injured during the encounter and is now in custody. 3 robbers were arrested by a joint team of Kavinagar police and the crime branch in Ghaziabad. The criminals were involved in a rupees 8.15 lakh heist. Police recovered rupees 4.3 lakh cash, pistols and a bike during the encounter. All 3 were taken into custody.
सिकरौर रोड पर पुलिस को सूचना, जब पुलिस चेकिंग कर रही थी तो 2 बाइकें, जिनमें एक बाइक पर सवार 2 व्यक्ति तथा एक बाइक पर सवार 3 व्यक्ति आते हुए दिखाई दिए। पुलिस द्वारा उनको रोकने का प्रयास किया गया तो एक बाइक पर सवार 2 व्यक्ति भाग गए तथा एक बाइक पर सवार 3 व्यक्तियों ने भागने का प्रयास करते हुए पुलिस पर फायरिंग की। आगे उनकी बाइक गिर पड़ी। बाइक गिरने के बाद भागते हुए उन्होंने पुलिस पर फिर फायरिंग की। पुलिस द्वारा उन पर आत्मरक्षा फायरिंग की गई, जिसमें सूरज, नितिन तथा मनीष 3 व्यक्ति पुलिस के द्वारा पकड़े गए।
In Sector 39 of Noida, police confronted mobile snatchers Sonu alias Mota and Vinay. Both were injured in the encounter. Police recovered 2 pistols, cartridges and 6 stolen mobile phones. Several cases are already registered against the duo.
थाना 39 की पुलिस से 2 सातिर बदमाशों से मुठभेड़ हुई, जिसमें दोनों बदमाशों के पैर में गोली लगी। पूछताछ करने पर स्पष्ट हुआ कि इनके नाम सोनू मोटवा पुत्र अनिल कश्यप और विनय पुत्र सुशील जाटव है, जो मूलतः दोनों बदमाश बागपत के रहने वाले हैं और यहाँ पर गाजियाबाद में किराए पर रहते हैं। इन दोनों का एक काफी लंबा चौड़ा आपराधिक इतिहास भी है।
Bareilly police arrested 3 robbers during an encounter on Chak Road near Saidpur. 1 head constable and 1 miscreant were injured. The accused were linked to a recent robbery near Green Valley, Navadia Jada. Pistols, a knife, rupees 9,000 cash and an Aadhaar card were recovered. Uttar Pradesh police has intensified its crackdown on criminals under a massive statewide drive codenamed Operation Langra. From Greater Noida to Bareilly, there is zero tolerance against criminals under the Yogi Adityanath regime.